half the weight of an Asian man. And there was this literal story about... There's like this show that these bodybuilders are going to do. I might have told you this. But there's this show that these bodybuilders are going to do. And they were talking about like recreating historical events that seemed insane. But there was this guy in the Civil War, huge man, not that big. He was like 6'3", so me. It's like me. But he was like legendary for just killing people with his hands. Like he would just
Civil War?
yeah. So there's this one story where him and everyone in his like army and platoon like ran out of bullets and he broke his bayonet. But his bayonet wasn't that impressive. It was like one of his fingers because everything was so little back then.
Yeah.
Like because nobody had food, so everybody was tiny besides this big mamma jamma. He runs across the battlefield and just slaughters all these tea and crumpet baby boys. Goes out in the
Are
battlefield.
you talking about the Revolutionary War or the Civil War?
Yep, there it is. Revolutionary
Civil War. Was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
what?
Civil War, people had like actual functioning guns, but okay, like those little like pebbles they'd shoot, musket balls would bounce off this guy.
Yeah.
So he was running out there. One time he picked up a cannon that was stuck in the mud and started 100% real. The cannon fell in the mud. It got knocked over. The tip was in. The dude picks it up, which weighs like 400 pounds. So he was like a big guy.
Wait, he picked up the whole cannon thing.
Yeah. And started killing people with it.
With what?
The cannon, dude. That's just like a tree. And he was just like... So little Timothy...
He was holding like this and
Yeah,
killing people.
he wasn't shooting it like... Goo, 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 but he would just hit them with it and their frail tea-fed bodies would disintegrate. Dude, people literally... Normal 5'2" little British people would survive a musket ball. So imagine big Shaq Fu coming out on the battlefield with his big American mitts just going... and they would just sink through the ground and just get stuck there and die of starvation. Everybody was so close to dying of starvation except this guy. And everybody just was like, all right, we need to win, so let's keep feeding him. And when they ran out of bullets, he was the go-to guy. I think the record was he killed 94 people with just hands. And they all had guns. So he was just running up to them. He'd grab the barrel of their gun and turn it up at them. They'd shoot it, and it would explode. So then everybody was like, all right, we got to pull out the swords. But swords, you got to remember... Everything was tiny. So little Cedric from southern Wales would come up to Shaq Fu and he'd be like, oh, I've ran out of musket balls. I gotta pull out my sword. Sink! And they'd walk up to this guy with a cannon that he pulled out of the ground. So he just walks up to him with this big meaty cannon and just does this. And Cedric is like, tell my mother I loved her. Dude, it was hilarious. It's incredible. And these bodybuilders recreated it, but they made everything miniature, so it looked a lot like what I was doing. They had a tiny person go, for Britain! And then the bodybuilder just went like this with the cannon. And just dead. All of them.
Oh, man.
Very not that impressive. Out of that kid.
His name's not John, is it?
Little John?
No.
Little John? Oh, yeah! No, it's little Timmy. Timothy. Timmy. Oh, God bless every single
No,
one
it's
of
Tom,
you.
isn't it?
Tom. Broken Tom.
Tiny Tim.
Crippled
tiny.
Crippled Carol.
Oh, gosh. No, it's
Paralyzed Peter.
The whole family's I'm Paralyzed Peter. What's your name?
Osteo Oscar. Mauled Matthew. Do you know that the original circus was all crippled people?
Yeah, well, it was deformed people.
Well, yeah, that was what it started as. P.T. Barnum, like in the movie, they show him go and get like bearded people, but then eventually when people kept on dying from...
The disease?
No. So that was part of it, like the small people kept dying and they didn't know why. And then what they did... But they would have the lion fighters just be people like Paralyzed Peter.
They'd have a paralyzed person be alive.
Dude. Get back!
Don't come near me!
The only thing that worked for Paralyzed Peter was his mouth, so he'd hold the whip and then... Sit down! Don't tell me I love that!
Dude, imagine going to a show and seeing a paralyzed person. They just like toss him in there. And he's just kind of whooping his mouth. And you see this lion. And he's just like on the ground and he's just taming a lion. And he's like, and then he's like, take me away. And then they're just like, drag him
My
out.
life is nothing but misery. P.T. Bottom told him that he one of the Ringling Brothers. This is not the Ringling job.
Imagine it.
I want to be soaring through the sky.
That's next week.
They just throw him and he like has to catch the flipping thing with his mouth. so he's flying through the sky like,
Oh, my cheeks.
paralyzed Peter died pursuing his dreams.
He lived his dream of being a Ringling Brother.
I am a Ringling Brother.
P.T. Bottom's a hero.